welcome to the Journey 2020. Normally, I'm not local in the sense of being local. Usually you see me sitting in the living room somewhere cozy. Well, I call it the living room. It's not really the living room, but you guys don't know that. But anyway, I'm Charles Morris. This is the Journey 2020, where we come to you every Monday at 7 p.m. And we've been doing so for going on 11 years. And the Journey 2020 is, as my old co-host used to say, from me to you and from you to me, so we can reach a higher level. And so I'm actually out at a place that I haven't been in, participating in something that I haven't participated since 11th grade. So what does that mean? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm actually at a prom, right? So it's that time of the year. Can you believe it? I won't tell you the year that I graduated, and I won't tell you what year I was in 11th grade, but I'm going to put my picture up right now so I can show you my 11th grade prom picture, and me and back with the hair and all of this other stuff, me being 16 years old. So get a good laugh. It was an interesting night. And for those from Jacksonville, Florida, that is the Rains Vikings prom. Yeah, I went to Rains prom back in however many years ago in Jacksonville, Florida. So, but anyway, if you've been watching the show, I've been highlighting Workforce Academy. It's a school, it's an alternative school, and they do some tremendous things there. And so I said, you know what? I wanted to highlight the prom tonight. So I was asked to come out, and I have Mr. Hawk, and actually he's right on time. I can have him come over right now. And I've been talking about this school for a long period of time. And here is the gentleman who came up with the idea and the concept of the whole school. And can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, Ken Hartzall. I'm the CEO, founder of Workforce Advantage Academy. Started it 20 years ago.
And why don't you tell us a little bit about the school?
Well, I had retired from the military and had my own business and sold it, and I was looking for something to do for the community. So I started the school, and it's for 11th and 12th graders who are struggling in school with their grades. And they come to my school and they get a regular high school diploma, but they also have an opportunity to work. So they go to school one day, they work the next day, back to school. So they make about $7,000 to $8,000 a year. And then we graduate, and then we send them to tech school, military, college, Job Corps, and something that they can learn a skill.
Now, I know a few weeks ago, I think you had a superintendent or somebody from higher up in education, and they was out on the campus, and you gave them a little tour. Is there anybody else doing what you're doing, around the country? Because I know that they was impressed about what you're doing, but
right.
Is there anybody else doing what you're doing?
No. The Commissioner of Education for the state of Florida came out and was duly impressed, wanted to replicate it, couldn't believe there hadn't been anything else doing it. It's just like he said, you have to have the right people. It's not just the idea. You got to have the exact right people to make it work. So
I've heard you talk a few times, and I'm personally, because I've been mentoring and working with kids for like over 30 years, and you and I both have seen, but you're in the real world. You're in the real world in the sense of dealing with things that a lot of us don't want to deal with.
Correct.
Where did that come from, and what really made you go, you know what, I need to do this because it is so needed? Where did that come from?
When I got out of the military, I had When I got out of the military, my company was a job training company, and we got some contracts with the Florida National Guard, and we started a About Face program. And this was kids that were younger kids in school who were behind, who would come to the armories after school, and we would train them up, get their math and skills. We'd pay them a stipend, $5 a day. And that's how I got into where, this group of people that I was serving. So that was basically my, I wanted to expand that into Workforce Advantage Academy.
I'm going to ask you a tough question. I don't think it's a tough question, but since you've been doing this, and I know you spoke to the higher up, but what do you think personally will take what you are doing for it to go through the state of Florida and around this country? Because as you know, during these times, I know stuff that they don't know. I know about the hard work. I know some of the challenges. I know how you have changed lives. I even worked on a video that there's testimonies that was given, and you can tell. And one of the things working with kids, and this is what I tell people all the time, I love people who don't change lives, they change generations. That means you're doing God's work.
Absolutely.
Right. And so you're changing generations.
Oh, yeah.
So
God's got his fingerprints all over this thing.
Right. So what do you think needs to be done to try to spread this thing so we can make a difference, especially during these times?
The Commissioner of Education for the state of Florida invited me and my staff to do workshop at the next annual meeting. Mm-hmm. And we'll have schools from all over the state. Mm-hmm. And they're going to be exposed to what I do. Okay. And hopefully that'll start a fire somewhere. And I wouldn't mind, going somewhere and trying to train up a staff free, because this is not about the money.
Right.
And so that's a good opportunity. We're going to do that in July.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, here is a man that I say that is changing generations. Thank you for your service, but also thank you for your service.
Thank you for the time.
Okay. All right. And that's going to take us over to the person who I know you have seen quite a few times here on the Journey 2020, and that is Miss Perkins. Oh, well, come on. We can call him as Coach. Everybody call him Coach. Absolutely. So why don't you come over here and introduce yourself and tell us your part that you play over here at work for us.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate this. This is a great night. I am Coach.
This way a little bit. There you go.
Okay. I am Coach. What I do is, I just really make sure we're compliant with all the policies and everything with Orange County Public Schools. Make sure the lights stay on. Make sure our teachers get paid. And just kind of make sure the day-to-day business of the school is handled. And that's kind of what I do. And it's great. I meet because I still get to meet with students, let them know they're on track and doing those kind of things. And so it's good. It is a great job.
Well, see, you're leaving so much out now. See,
I know.
You're leaving so much out. I mean, this school is, and I was just talking about how working with kids, and I tried to share with you my passion and the things that I've been doing for so many years. And I was just saying that when you meet people who are not changing lives, they're changing generations. And I say that's when you know you're doing God's work.
Right.
Well, tell us kind of, from your experience, the impact that you have seen for yourself in the seat that you sit in, and the difference that you have seen in the lives of family. Because you said you're close knit not only with the kids, but with the family, the parents, and everybody. I mean, I heard you say that. Yeah.
Absolutely. So I can't. I'm gun shy. So what we have done, 20 years in existence, right? So last year we had a young man graduate. That we graduated his mom in the beginning, right? So that is awesome. Okay. And we also believe, our part of our philosophy as a school is an integral part of a community, right? And so that means we have to play a part in so many different lives. And so if a parent calls and says, look, I know you helped my son find a job, can you help me find a job? And the answer is always absolutely, right? I mean, because we are here for this community, right? We're about educating kids, but we're also about helping that parent, because it's a community-based philosophy, right? Because we want everyone to get better, do better. It's not a competition. Life is not a competition. My light is not dimmer when yours is started, right? So we just don't feel that way. And we want everyone to be involved. The pie is big enough. You can get a slice too. And it is all right. And we are here to help you do that. I'm sorry, I can't help it.
Okay.
I can't help it.
Go ahead and finish.
So we want to make sure that everybody everybody gets the services they need, but also too they can feel fulfilled, because once you get a job, once you start to feel like I'm being rewarded for my contributions, you start to feel like your life is your life has meaning, right? Because there's so much more to a job than just a paycheck, right? Because we don't go to work just for a paycheck, because we feel that we are making some kind of difference, right?
Hold on. He's talking about himself. So him, because there's a lot of people. He's talking about his spirit and his service. So when he says that, he's talking about the people that's serving Workforce Academy.
Okay, absolutely.
Because there's a lot of us just want to check.
Okay, but that's true. I'm tracking. But the truth is once you start feeling, you start to build that self-esteem. You start building those what we call soft skills. Those people skills, where we can start to feel like we're contributing. It's better than that bottom of the pyramid where we're just worried about food, shelter, and just clothing and stuff like that. Then we can start reaching out. We can start worrying about our soul, the soul of our community. And that's what's so important, and that's where, after 20 years, we know that, sure, I can teach you to read. I can teach you about math. But I also want you to go out there, get that job, feel good about yourself, start building on that self-esteem, be able to rent that house, buy that house, rent that car, move out, do those kind of things. We want our kids to be ready for life after high school.
Okay, I'm going to try to put this in the proper words. I'm going to try my best. Okay, so knowing what I know, and I know that for the students that walk through the door of Workforce Academy, I'll say this, they're not your average kids. They're there for a reason. For whatever reason, good, bad, or indifferent. Challenges, but the point of it is that through all of that you deal with and the challenges, what keeps you going to say, you know what? We're going to make a difference. We're going to help you walk across that stage, but not only that, we're going to try to help you get a different perspective through all your challenges and the things that you're facing, because your energy, and some of those kids are dealing with stuff that other kids have no clue about these things in life.
Right.
What keeps you in that space where you go, we're going to help these kids walk across this stage?
I believe that you have to believe in your heart of hearts that every human matters. God put us here for a purpose. I know we're a secular school, but I hold on to the belief that we all have an individual purpose. And if I can help you find your path, man, then then I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And I just really believe that's where we are, because I believe it doesn't matter. Yes, you could curse at me today, but I'm that firm believer that my days don't connect, because tomorrow is a new day. The sun is coming up again, and I may be able to help you today. Yesterday you didn't hear me, but maybe today you will. Right? And so if I give up on you, I'm a Coach Gruden guy, right?
But I don't see, you just said something that was so key, and I didn't mean to break it.
No.
You just said something that was so key, because these kids feel that way. They feel that life has given up on them.
Yep.
The people that they thought loved them have given up on them.
Yep.
There's no encouraging words, and the list goes on. And so people have given up on me, the hope, the dreams, and all of that. That's key, because you just said, I haven't given up on you.
That's correct. Right. And that is, we are, and our teachers, we talk about this in our meetings, because we say, when the student comes in, they want to see our faces, because in a lot of these students, we are the only consistency they have. And so that's why I always tell my teachers, when you're on stage every day, bring your A game, right? Because somebody is needing you today, right? When you get home, absolutely take your shoes off and go, what a day, right? but somebody needs you today, right? And you got to continue to pour in.
Okay, this is my last question.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to ask you a personal question.
Okay.
Knowing what I know, where do you go to re-energize? What do you do to re-energize?
When I am at my lowest points, what do? I go to the beach. There is something about hearing the surf roll.
Like me fishing.
Yeah, absolutely. There is something about being able to put my feet in the sand and hear the surf roll. And the great thing is I'm a Florida kid, right? And so that piece, I can just sit there and let the world happen around me. But that, to me, just charges my batteries. Every couple of months, my wife and I, we haul off to the beach. We put her up our lounge chairs, and we recharge. Absolutely.
Again, thank you so much for what you do, and thank you for your service.
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you so much. Now, understand that we have Miss Drummond, and she's looking all good in her. Is that pink? Fuchsia. How you doing? Come on,
doing well.
Let me see. No, you gotta come. Oh, okay. Why don't you introduce yourself?
My name is Miss Drummond. I'm the business transition teacher at Workforce Academy Charter School.
I have a question for you. No, I won't ask that question. I'll say, what's the best prom you ever attended?
The best prom I've ever attended would probably be this one.
Oh, really?
Yes, because I have a lot more student engagement this year. Last year the attendance wasn't as high, but I really decided.
See, I thought she was going to say her high school prom, but she talking
I
about.
never went to my high school prom.
Oh, really?
My first prom would have been with Workforce probably 3 years ago.
So, your first prom was actually through Workforce.
Yes. I didn't go to the prom.
Okay, I want it.
PK kid.
So was I, but I went to the prom.
You didn't let me go to the prom. I couldn't go. No, but my first prom was here with the Workforce students.
Well, okay. Well, then let's focus on the prom then. What does it take to put this on? And for yourself, what does it mean personally?
Well, to take this on, it's a lot of coordination. I do have to start early through the years. What I've noticed to get more participation, really get them amped up as to what happens at the prom. And I really push the fact that it really costs them nothing because we have a CEO that's really generous and that really provides everything for them. So the only thing they have to be concerned about is their apparel, what they want to do with their hair, and their transportation and getting here. So to me, I've really pushed that since the beginning of the year to get the enthusiasm and participation up with the students. What that means to me is just a chance for myself as well as the other teachers and staff to see the students in a different light and to have them see us in a different light outside of being their teacher or their mentor or what have you, to show them that, hey, we're real. We can have fun. We like to laugh. We like to dance. We can dress up and look quite beautiful.
Fuchsia?
So yeah, it's important for me, and I love to see the smile on their faces and the way that they look when they get here. Nice to see them cleaned up.
Tell me your role actually at the school. What is it that you do at the school?
My role at the school, I actually represent the work piece of the school. So my class is called Transition. That means they're transitioning to work or transitioning from work and trying to find another job. So my class days and my students should really be low in attendance because it's considered a work day. They should be out on those class days working. But if they're not, they're in the classroom and they're learning basic life skills, work skills, financial literacy, and things like that.
And how long have you been there at the school?
It's going on 5 years.
Wow. Well, one of the things that I have learned is that the service that you provide is a blessing. Because I've been working with kids for over 30 years, mentoring and so on. And I've said this several times. I love people who don't change people's lives, but change generations. Right. That means you're doing God's work. Right. And so I thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for your patience. And I thank you for blessing so many, because that's what you're doing. You're changing generations. And thank you for the event. And I haven't eaten yet, but I hope I get a chance to eat some food.
Come on, let's get some food. Don't talk too much. Come on, get some food.
Joining me right now, with a lovely smile on her face, I'm going to have you introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Johnson.
Mrs. Johnson, and what is your role at Workforce Academy?
I am the lab manager. I oversee the online program, Edgenuity.
And what does that mean? Because I have no clue what that means.
Well, that means students are in my class in order to recover their credits, or they're trying to improve their GPA by taking online courses.
Okay, and how long have you been there at Workforce Academy?
This is my 14th year. I started in 2010.
Wow. You know, I was saying and being part of seeing what I do, and because I've been mentoring kids for a long time with my nonprofit and my summit and everything. Why do you think workforce is so important to Orange County?
You know, sometimes when the kids come to us from the other Orange County schools, they have given up. And I think Workforce turned that mindset around. We give them everything we have. We show them that even though you had troubles before, you can come in here, work with us, give us the opportunity to educate you. And that way we can make sure that you succeed, make you believe in yourself, and just take you to the next point of your life.
Okay, well, I want to thank you for what you do, because I know you changed your life. So what I want to do later on is that I want to make sure that I have a camera and have you out there on the dance floor so I can get some pictures, right? So you're going to be on the dance floor?
Sure, I will. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Joining me right now, looking all lovely and beautiful. Why don't you tell us your name?
I'm Michelle Perez from Philippines.
The Philippines. And this is like you just came here like a year ago, right?
Almost a year, yeah.
Yeah. And so what is it that you do over at Workforce Academy?
What?
What do you do at Workforce Academy?
So I'm a science teacher at Workforce Advantage Academy. I arrived here at August, so it's almost a year, yeah. And my experience here was definitely amazing. I'm with amazing people and amazing school.
So, see, I know a little something about you. She just recently learned how to drive over here in America. So why don't you share that experience? What has that been like? Learning to drive on I-4.
Okay, so I didn't know how to drive when I was in the Philippines, but since Miss Perkins, she's really helpful. She's always by my side, and she taught me how to drive. So that's one of the best things that I learned when I moved here in USA.
All right,
yeah.
and also know that I think you're getting ready to get married, right? Maybe. Oh, well, you know what? I shouldn't have said that. Maybe not. I don't know. You know.
We're going to talk behind the camera.
Okay.
I'm waiting.
Oh. Well, thank you and for what you do, and continue to, because you're making a difference in the lives of so many students. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And you look so lovely tonight.
Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Enjoy the night.
And stay off of I-4, okay?
I will. Thank you.
All right. Joining me right now is, what's your name?
Zion Clay.
Zion. And I see it says Prom Court. What?
Yes. So
What's
I'm
happening?
going for Prom King.
Prom King.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you're a senior?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Tell me about your experience here at Workforce Academy.
So my experience here at Workforce Academy was a great opportunity. I came here from online school, and I wanted to work at the same time and go online school, but I fell behind in my classes and I didn't get enough credits. I came to Workforce Advantage Academy, and I had the opportunity to catch up on my credits, and also had the opportunity to go to work. So now I'm making money and also learning about school and made up on my credits. So I got the both roles that I wanted.
Okay, and for those out there that never heard of Workforce Academy or thinking about Workforce Academy, you would tell them what?
To join. Don't mess up on their community. Join as soon as you can, and do what they tell you, because they're here to help you. And don't slack off on your timesheets either. Make sure you get those timesheets on, because I'm behind like 3 weeks. So also too, we have great experience opportunities for any field you want. I had an opportunity to fly a plane on a Saturday. I had an opportunity to fly a plane totally for free, and it was a great learning experience. And now it's something that I'm interested in, and I'm a senior. And I also got an opportunity to go on the trip to New York and also Chicago. So it was a great experience going to Chicago. I actually had deep pizza for the first time in Chicago, which is a great experience. And then New York, we had the I forget what it's called, the food, and it was like a bread and a dog. It was like a hamburger dog. I don't know what's it called. Forgot the name of it, but it was a great experience and great opportunity.
All right. Well, good luck on the prom. What is the prom? What now?
Prom king.
Oh, okay.
So right here it's called a prom court because I'm gonna go on the court, and then afterwards, if I win, I'm gonna get the prom king slash.
Okay.
So I'm excited.
All right. Thanks for taking the time to come and talk to me.
Of course. You're welcome.
Okay. And so we had the prom queen. Prom. Oh. Come on. Okay. No, come on. What's your name?
Destiny.
Destiny. And are you 11th or 12th grade?
12.
12th grade. And tell me about your experience at workforce.
Oh, I love it. My teachers are great. Especially Miss Perkins, I love her. She, Miss Drummond, they're all great. They're real helpful. I don't know.
So
I appreciate this school.
right, do you? So you're running for prom queen right now?
Yeah, I'm in prom court. I'm one of the
prom.
running up. Like it's 3 other girls or 2.
Okay, so what does that entail? I don't know. I mean, tell me what you have to do.
I don't know.
Oh,
She caught me off guard. I don't know. I didn't know it was gonna be. I have to be ready.
okay. All right. Well,
Ready to go on stage.
okay. All right. Well, good luck. Tell me your name.
I'm Jaquez McGee.
Oh, okay. And how old are you?
I'm 18.
Okay. Are you a senior this year?
I'm a senior.
Oh, okay. So you're gonna be walking across the stage.
Yes, sir.
So tell me, what do you think of Workforce Academy?
I actually like Workforce Academy. At first, when I was at Jones, I was going to drop out because I wasn't going to school like my whole 11th grade year, like the half of it. But then when I came to Workforce, like even though like I came, like my mom, I had found out she had cancer, and then I wasn't coming to school as often. But then like once she passed, I didn't come to school for like a whole month. And then once after that, when I started coming to school, I like cried, and Ms. Nadell, she helped me. Like she talked to me, and it like kind of like put me forward because Ms. Nadell, she told me her story, and it actually helped me. Like I had doubts, and it made me like figure like this is just God's plan. And
well. See, I didn't know that because, and I'm going to share something with you. When I think about my journey, and I think about people that I was close to, like my grandmother, and I sit there, and because she was so impactful on my life, and I try to think like, what would have happened if God had taken her away from me when I was like your age? I don't know how I would have handled that. I'm just letting you know, because I'm like, oh my God, I'm trying to paint that picture. And I'm probably
it's a horrible picture.
That's
picture.
what I'm saying. I'm saying for you to having that challenge of overcoming it and trying to put it in its proper perspective says a lot about your spirit. And I also know that your mom wants you to be strong and carry on. But in here, I feel it. But what is it that you want to do once you graduate?
I want to go to tech school for carpentry or facility management, and I just want to go into the career force of carpentry and facility management.
All right.
Because I have I feel like in my opinion I have a bright aura, so I feel like I can expand into more things. But right now, my focus on carpentry and facility management.
Well, that's a great career choice. So good luck, and thank you for being who you are and staying strong, because see, I'm speaking like old school now. When the storm comes, it's gonna come. It's how we handle the storm, and the storm is gonna always come. It's not gonna ever stop, but it'll say about what's in your heart and your spirit, and that's the challenge that you're gonna have in life. All right.
And I want to say one thing. I know my mama made it to heaven. She forgave me. I forgave her, and she forgave everybody. It's forgiveness. Forgive. I love you, Mommy, and I love y'all. Have a good one.
All right, for those who have been watching the Journey 2020, you've seen this person talk about Workforce Academy several times. And I was asking, did you go to your high school prom?
I did not. This was actually, Workforce was my first prom that I ever went to. A few years ago, I've been here 9 years, but my first prom was with Workforce Advantage Academy.
What's wrong with these workforce people? They didn't go to their high school prom. Like, what the heck was going on? But we won't. What's up with that?
I was just very young and shy, and it wasn't something that I guess I felt I needed to have that experience. Yeah. So, but I made up it for now.
Oh. Okay, so now is like the key time because we're coming up into the class of 2024. Can you believe that class of 2024?
May 18th, they walk across the stage.
So for workforce and for you, what does that mean?
Well, certainly I would say for the kids, it's a great accomplishment for them. Many of them have struggles, right, to get to that point, and many of them have survived and come through COVID, so they had to have school online, have it remotely, and then eventually get back in, classroom, get back in a rhythm and be able to, have this opportunity to walk. A lot of our students, as you know, come from other schools, so we get them in the last year or two. And just that adjustment, but it's really beautiful. Like by the fourth quarter, you see these kids have friends, they're gelling, they're excited. It's a little stressful right now because the reality of it, we're going into finals and then graduations in a few weeks. So, but it's really quite an accomplishment. The teachers and staff really do well to just support and help these students be able to walk across that stage.
Oh, wow. Now, on the year, on the average, about how many kids are in the school?
Well, we have about 250, 260 enrolled in our school, and they don't all come on one day. We have block scheduling, the A and B day. So, we can have anywhere, 80, 100 students on campus. It depends. But it's certainly, we're a smaller school environment, which is really help us to have more interactions with them. Right. Because there are actually like 7 teachers on campus, and then of course with the staff. So, but yeah, we really know our students.
Right. Yeah, it's funny too because you was telling me, I think a couple of months ago, you were out somewhere, and one of your students from about 8-9 years ago, about 5 or 6 years ago, recognized you, and you didn't. I think the student recognized you, but you didn't recognize the student. Right.
Right, and it happens. One of our students had come back to get his transcript, and I had always wondered what had happened to him. So he was the first student that I had mentored. And so I was really happy to see him. I mean, he's a dad now, but he's want to go to school to be a plumber, and it's just, you wonder. You had a part. We have a part in their lives, and you always wonder sometimes what happened to them. But many of them do come back, and we give them the opportunity to even talk to our students so that they can really share their journey in life after high school. To hear it from someone who went through the program. So,
but. Also, you told me that you were out somewhere. I think you were like at Spectrum or something like that, and you saw.
Oh, yes. Sorry. So I switched over to Spectrum, and the person I had on my uniform shirt, my workforce shirt, and the young man who was helping me, he recognized our logo, and then he shared that he went to our school. So yes, I didn't recognize him. He absolutely recognized me, and then of course gave me great service, gave me some deals, so that was good. I was a good teacher to him. But yeah, that's pretty cool, and I'm still in touch with him now. And actually, his girlfriend went to our school as well. So.
Well, what we're gonna do right now is we're actually gonna go inside and take a look at what's going on, with the prom, and okay, you got the prom court and. They're getting ready, whatever that is, and they're getting ready to do that as well. So we're going to take a look at that, all right?
So, if you didn't cast your vote, guess what happened on Friday at 3:20? Ms. Drummond shut the voting down. So the winners, of course, are by popular demand, and they were selected by the ones that actually voted. So it wasn't swayed, I didn't do anything, I just closed it, and I took who the winners are, okay? So, we're going to start out with our prom queen.
Let's go. Who's the prom queen? Who's the prom queen?
And the voting says our prom queen for 2024 is Miss Drummond. Oh, I wasn't running. I'm sorry.
Anyway.
My bad. Class of 1983, 2024. Oh, here we go. So, our 2024 prom queen is Miss Atalia Henson. Again, this was by popular vote and that those that participated in the voting process. Our 2024 prom king. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Okay. Our 2024 prom king is none other than Mr. Dion Afro.
Audio Jungle.
Joining me right now is a man that really makes it work, and he's been doing it for a long, long time. I met him back in the early 2000s, and actually had him on my show, and I want you to introduce yourself.
Yeah, sure.
Because I want the people out there to know who you are.
Okay, great. It's good to meet your audience. Yes.
Because we've already talked to quite a few of the staff members, and I've featured Workforce Academy several times over the past year, over the past 2024.
Yeah.
But I hadn't had a chance to talk with you for a long time.
It has been.
So introduce yourself.
Yes. My name is Carl Morrell, and I'm the Chief of Staff for Workforce Advantage Academy. It's a wonderful job. It's a wonderful school, and we have some wonderful students. I'd just like to start off by saying that we learn what we live. Mm-hmm. And when we live a good quality life, we learn some good quality values. And when our students come to us, that's what we want to make sure that we do, to continue with those values that they've already been taught and instilled that have quality to them. You know, we want to make this experience for them something that they will remember. You know, we look at things and say, success does not result from chance, but from a succession of successful days. Now, that phrase was actually coined by Daniel C. Mosley, but I read it back in the 80s. A friend of mine sent it to me from college, right after I'd been commissioned, and he said, I think you need to read this. And the name of it was Don't Bother Me, I Can Cope. It was a fantastic article. And you know, those things in your life come forward. And this is one of the things that's come forward with me in terms of what we do with our students. Trying to make them to be all that they can be. You know, sometimes at a young age, you may not have determined exactly what it is that you want to be. But you know, Charles, I don't know anyone that wants to be poor.
You know, as I reflect, God has blessed me with some years, and whatever that is that God gave me, that I try to see through your eyes. I try to be you.
Absolutely.
So I try to understand. But something that I understand that I hope that I can convey in the words, try and somehow in my limited vocabulary. But what I learned, and I processed it, that I was saying that I had my teachers that was pouring into me, and people that was telling me about going to school and getting A's and B's and applying myself. But when I think back of who I was and where I was, I heard them, but I didn't quite understand what that meant.
Absolutely.
All I know was that I was a kid, that I was going to a place that they told me that I was supposed to go here. My friends were there.
Right,
and
right.
I would leave the house and go to this place.
Right, right.
And that's where everybody was.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But for them to tell me that I should be making A's and B's, as a kid, I go like, yeah, but I want to just have a good time.
Good time, yeah.
I want to go play. And
right.
It didn't translate into the way the world works.
Yeah.
I couldn't process it to the degree that it's supposed to have meant what they was trying to give me.
Get it right, got
right.
it. Yes,
so I wasn't
yes.
there to understand it in the manner to how to apply myself.
Right.
I was told it.
Yes.
But I was like, well, why can't I go and play some jacks or something?
Exactly. You know, and you raise a very interesting point because it's real. It's real getting at an early age that transition of understanding that those A's and B's are actually skill sets. They're skill sets that's being built because you need skills out here. So to understand that if I have those A's and B's, I have skill sets now that I can employ when I go out here to get this job, for example, or when I go to try out for this team or just what have you.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, at a young age,
yeah, that's tough.
I didn't understand how the world works.
Yeah, it's so tough. It's so tough.
I wasn't able to apply it to say that this is what I need in order to be whatever the world says and how it works.
How it works.
All
right.
I know was that I was a kid that had all this energy that I wanted to go play.
Play, absolutely.
You know, I was told to sit in this. But this is what I try to say to young folks is that I never met a child that couldn't learn.
Right.
What I say is that where you put your energy is where you develop.
That's right.
And so the lack of discipline and understanding.
Yes.
But I can become great in where I put my energy. But it's my lack of discipline. My lack of discipline. Because wherever I put my energy, and that is where I focus.
And that's where you focus. And that is a very true statement. That's a very true statement. And so what we try to do, that's what part of Workforce Advantage Academy is what it is. We started off with the premise that I'm going to give you something that you want, something that you need to understand. And hopefully you'll give me back what I want, which is this. I want you to understand why you need those A's. You know, I want you to understand why you take English in the 3rd grade, or 4th grade, 5th grade, and you take it through the 12th, and you take it 101, because I'm building on that skill set, you know, so that you can understand. You know, one of the things that we've often talked about is training and teaching so that it's like driving, for example. There are rules to the road. And you learn those rules. You know, when the red is light, you stop. When it's green, that you go, right? But that's a way that you start to assimilate your knowledge into the way the world works, right? So if you take that and you apply it across the board, you have to simplify it so that kids can understand that, you know, there's a direct connect between what I'm teaching you or what you're going to use as you go forward, right? But it's tough because there's so many distractions. You know, we compete for the imagination of our kids today in a way that is unbelievable.
Right.
And most people.
That's very important what you just said.
Yeah. It's a tremendous challenge to try to get in tune with those students so that they give us what we need, and what we want is the mind. Now it comes sometimes in short durations. So that means that you got to capture it when it's there, and then make the most of it as you go forward. It's at the same time it's challenging, but it's also rewarding. It's rewarding when the students come back to us and say, "Thank you. Thank you for sharing the time. Thank you for sharing the wisdom. Yeah, I didn't get it, but now I got it, and I'm out here and I'm making a difference." And so the work pays off for us, right? And that's where I get my joy. Is seeing them come back and saying thank you, you know, and you know that you've done what needed to be done.
But one of the things that I have learned, even over at Workforce Academy, is that you guys understand the unordinary.
Yeah.
And one of the things that, because even though I won't get into it, but I grew up dyslexic, learning just ADHD. I saw that after I graduated from college. I knew there was issues and problems, but I didn't understand it. But I later found out. So I was able to connect with the Kurtz Learning Center.
Okay.
Out of Winter Park, Florida. Great people. And they deal with how the mind works and the learning disabilities. And they share some things with me on how this, how this computer works.
It works, yes,
you know?
yes.
And I took a test, and it was really funny. Because when I took the test, the girl looked at me and she said, "You probably do this, and this." And I looked at her like, "How you know that?"
Right.
Because, and then then she said, "You probably do this, and." And I looked at her. She said, "Oh, there's a lot of people like you, because you feel like an alien."
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. And so when she said that, I looked at her and she said, "Oh, you know." But my point of it is that the development took a while.
Yes.
And then when it started to make sense to me, like the light came
on.
But to understand that in our culture, and Workforce Academy understand this, is that we learn differently.
We want absolutely.
Our culture think we're supposed to all sit in this room and do this like this, and that's not how it works.
That's not how it works. That isn't.
And it's unfair to a lot of kids.
It is. I think that the teacher to student ratio is really, really critical. Because so much time is needed. You know, when I was talking about the highway, I was talking about systems training, and I was thinking about that as you were talking about the test that you were taking, and the knowledge that you were gaining about how this thing worked for you, with you, etc. And I think that we don't do maybe enough of that to say, this is a tripod. Well, this tripod was designed in response to hold this up. Now, that's what it does. And I want you to come over and hold it. I want you to come over and maneuver it. I want you to come over and do that. Sometimes I think that carries a lot more transferable skill sets with it when they have their hands on it, So we kind of operate from the standpoint like, I'm going to tell you how to do it. I'm going to show you how to do it. And then I'm going to ask you to do it. That takes a lot of time. And you don't get that kind of time with each and every individual student. But we try to, as best we can, make sure that we can relate to that student in a way that makes them willing. Because, I was talking with someone earlier tonight. If a student doesn't let you in, then your effectiveness is limited.
Right.
And most of that letting you in is based on trust.
Right, exactly.
If that student trusts you, then they will allow you to teach them. Now, some people say, well, I don't think, well, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. And so we try very hard to make that an integral part of what it is that we do. You know, every student don't identify with every teacher, but we want to know which one they do, so that we can make sure we can connect them in some way that they can get the message that we're trying to deliver. This has been a long journey. You know, we got our contract in 2003 as a charter. We had our first class in 2004, and we had our first graduation in 2006, and now it's 2024. And we've just been renewed for another 5 years. So it's been a good thing. And we have a lot of lives here that we want to continue to be a part of and impact in a positive way, you know, because that positive vibe sometimes means so much. You know, we took some kids to New York back in March. There's about 18, I think, of them. And just watching them, standing back and observing them absorb the city and all that it had to offer was just such a wonderful experience. You know, it was the first time that some of them had ever flown. I mean, you know, exposure. That's why we want to do it here at Embassy Suites. We want to do it at places like Embassy Suites because we want them to remember this prom. We want them to remember this experience. We want them to remember the positive accolades that they got tonight. You know, we want them to remember this and let this become part of them in their world, in their lives, because Charles, it means so much. You know, words are powerful. Words are powerful, and they have meanings, and they take on a life of their own. And what we want to do is reinforce our students with positiveness, because God knows there's enough negative in the world. There's enough of it out here, and it affects everyone. And so what we want to do is give them a positive stream of I can, you can, we can. As a team, we can, and make that happen. So, gosh, to your audience, I say hello, welcome, you know?
Well, the thing is, I always ask, for those that don't know, and now that they've heard, how can they find out more about, you know, work?
Yeah, I mean,
can they donate? Could they?
Yes, indeed.
What can people do to try to help?
Yes, indeed.
What you may not know is an alternative school, and so the kids that come there already is kind of like a roadblock, in a sense. Right.
Yeah.
So they're already dealing with some stuff that you already know that there's something.
They have some challenges.
Something.
Yeah, they have some challenges. Right. But not all of them do, because we have a variety of students that come to us for a variety of reasons. Okay. We have some students that just may be needing to work.
Okay.
My family needs another set of incomes, and I say, come on, you know, our students make on average between $8,000 and $10,000 a year that they can contribute to a household. So you know, if your household was at $34,000, you now go to $44,000 of just additional income, right? So for some, it means that much to them, right? Others are just their grades are low. They need some help. They need some tutoring. They need some nurturing to get that GPA up to a 2.0 so that they can graduate, right? So one thing we tell them, when you come to Workforce Advantage Academy, you're going to know what your GPA is, that you have to have a 2.0 GPA or higher. You're going to know how many credits that you need to graduate. You know, you need 24 credits, and we're going to tell you what those are, and we're going to tell you about your testing, and we're going to help you with all of that. If you're behind, we can help you catch up. If your GPA is low, we can help you bring it up. All we'd ask you to do is bring something to the table, and that's a willingness to learn. If you bring a willingness to learn, then we can help you, you know, because half of the battle is already won, because now you believe in yourself. You believe in yourself, and I'm telling you, that's powerful.
That's very true. The thing of it is, when I talk with kids, I've been telling them this, and when I say this, you understand what I mean by it. I try to tell them, I won't get into the whole dynamics of it, but I tell them, I said, sometimes dream killers are people that love you.
Very, very true.
And I said, they love you, but then they don't quite know how to help you. And sometimes they are your worst enemies in the sense that you have to believe in yourself.
In yourself, that's right.
And so they don't mean it in the way, but when you don't know any better, you don't do better.
You don't do better.
So you have to believe.
You have to believe.
And you have to surround yourself with people that's going to try to
uplift you. Yeah, absolutely. Right. And that is so important. I mean, when the nucleus of success starts from within, it starts with you. And part of that is believing that you can, and believing that you can accomplish the goals that you set for. But sometimes the mechanics of it are hard. You know, like, what do I do? How do I get started? Who can I talk to? For example, one of the things that we tell our students is that you're a business. You're a business of one. Your business depends on how much you invest in your business. And your education is part of that investment. And going out here and getting this job is part of this investment. I enjoy it, y'all. Sometimes I'll ask the students, I'll say, well, like, how many languages do you speak? And they'll think I'm talking about, well, English, Spanish, French, German. Right. And I'll say, well, there are a lot of different languages. When you go out here and get this job and get in that industry, that's a different language. You're not going to even know the words when you get there, but it's a different language, but you can learn that language. So over your house, over your head, now I'm trying to instill some confidence that you're going to learn that language of that business in a relatively short period. And you're going to know how it runs. Now you can invest more into your business because now you have another skill set. You have more knowledge, you have more information. And so there are just many different parts to this thing, a lot of moving parts, to trying to help each and every one of our students individually to be all that they can be. You know what I mean? That they can move, that they can progress, and that each day we work hard at trying to make that a reality for them, because there's nothing like success. Okay, it's hard to argue with success, and when you get it, you want more of it. And when you want more of it, you will go for it. You'll set those goals. But for those who would like to donate to Workforce Advantage Academy, please feel free. We are open. We do have a website. You can go to www.workforceacademy.com. You can also call us at the school if you just want to call. 407-898-7228 is the number there. We will certainly welcome you. We will welcome any contributions that you have. And let's keep doing it, because it does take a community.
Oh, yeah.
It does take a community. It does. And we're counting on the community to be part of who we are.
Well, I've said it quite a few times, and I've said it, and I keep saying it. I've said it quite a few times during the show. When I run into people who are changing people's lives, they're changing not lives, they're changing generations. That's what Workforce Academy does.
Thank you.
You don't change lives, you change generations.
And now that's heavy.
Oh, yeah. That means you're doing God's work. That's what that means.
A pleasure.
Yeah, right.
Thank you so much.
Right. Thank you for taking the time to come on the Journey 2020.
Absolutely.
All right.
Keep doing what you're doing.
All right. Okay, we're actually coming to the end of prom, and I understand, again, you told me you didn't go to your high school prom. I'm just like, anyway, people, I showed you my 11th grade prom picture of Raines High School back in long time ago. But
at least you had a picture to show. I didn't have a picture to show.
But they're getting ready to walk across the stage when?
I just want to say thank you for coming out to be a part of our prom and actually taking time to really showcase our school and our students. We're really proud of them, and we're appreciative of you taking the time to really give us a platform and let people see some of the wonderful work that we're doing. And so thank you for that, and we certainly hope that we have the opportunity for you to come back and do it again.
Well, yeah, but I want you to tell us about the graduation. Graduation is when?
Graduation is Saturday, May 18th, 4 p.m. And, it's at a church on Goldenrod. I cannot pronounce it. It was El Centro Internacion. So I'm butchering it. Sorry, I don't speak Spanish well. But it is a wonderful opportunity to really see these students who've worked many, many years cross that stage and have their moments. Even in there tonight, one of the prom court females said she would be the first person to graduate from high school.
Yeah, it's funny because I heard her say that, and
in this day and age, still.
Right, and it's real. So if she says that I don't know how many siblings or how many, what does that mean? But she says she would be the first one from her family to finish high school. That's real.
It's legacy stuff, right? It's changing, hopefully, just for future generations. And even we have multiple students, by the way, family members that come back to our school. Their siblings graduate, and then they send their siblings here so that they can graduate as well. So it's something that we're doing here, certainly, that families are recognizing. But it was another young man, he wanted to do it because, his mother had passed, So it's deep-rooted for them. So that day is very emotional for families and for them because it's a culmination of a goal and journey that they've been working towards for many years.
Yeah, and the thing of it is, honestly, there's a lot of things that we take for granted. Not to get into it because I've been doing this for a long period of time, and as part of being with the SAFE program with Orange County Public Schools many years ago, and there when I was at Orange TV, and I had Be Positive and many of the shows that we produce in dealing with kids. And being aware through the Urban League and Weekends of Orlando and looking at those numbers, and we're talking about numbers of homeless kids, but yet they were still going to school. But nobody have an idea about how high those numbers are. But so there's always a story that we know absolutely nothing about, or you don't know the story of these kids that we sometimes judge. We have no idea what they're going through for something as simple as like the homeless. Some of them, some of the kids that I have been around and been working with, the only meal they get is when they come to school.
Even in high school. Even in high school. Right. You know of in the younger age groups, and our kids are work age. Our school is workforce, yet we see students that we give food to that you can see they come, they're hungry, they come at lunchtime, or we give them food afterwards. So even teenagers, older students are dealing with hunger and food resources, right?
And so that's one of those things that I think where we sometimes fall short because we don't extend or reach out. Whether I'm guilty of it, I think we're all guilty of it because I think there's going to always be work to be done. Always and always. Thank you for what you do. Thank Workforce Academy for what they do. And hopefully you can think about it in the sense that there's work to be done and there's many organizations and churches and things that you can become involved in that you can make a difference. And you heard me say this, I don't know how many times on the show today. And that is when you meet people that is not changing lives, they're changing generations, which means you're doing God's work. And that's what God Works does. And so as we're out here on location, actually, where are we?
Embassy Suites, downtown Orlando. Embassy Suites. So downtown Orlando, Embassy Suites.
Yeah, well,
beautiful place.
Yeah, that's where we are at the Prom. It's Saturday night. As you know, normally I'm live on Mondays at 7 p.m. But this is a tape show today because we're again where?
Embassy Suites, downtown Orlando.
On a Saturday night, and the last time I was at a prom, I won't tell you. You've already seen the picture, but you check out the hair and all this other stuff at Raines High School in Jacksonville, Florida, back in 19. Yeah, I had a good time that night, and actually, well, never mind. I was going to tell you about I almost got sick because I ate some shellfish that I wasn't supposed to eat, but that's a different story. Anyway. This is the Journey 2020, where we come to you every Monday at 7 p.m. And as I always say, faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of the Lord. Everybody enjoy the rest of your week. You be blessed.